Hey, everybody. I'm so freaking pumped for this. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Dennis. On the internet, I go by OKSDM. You can find my YouTube channel over there. I'd like to first thank Nerds with Dice for hosting this amazing game we're about to jump into. Um, I've never done a Nerds with Dice thing before, so this is entirely new to me. These people were all strangers up until like 2 weeks ago or something. And I'm still really, really hype for everything we've put together for you. Um, I think we'll start off with a little quick blurb for Nerds with Dice, who is sponsored by Grinding Company Coffee, a Black and LGBTQ plus coffee company. Use the link in the chat or the code Gunmetal Blue to get 10% off. They also have merch, and you can find those links in chat as well, or by going to Nerds W Dice on Twitter. All right. You know me, you know them. Now we get to introduce our cast. Let's start with you, Crimson. Tell us who you are, where you can be found on the internet, and who you're playing tonight.
Yeah, hey y'all, I'm Crimson Galaxy. That is Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. My pronouns are they, them, she, and they. Today I'm going to be playing Lexi D. Marsupio, or just Lexi for sure. Her pronouns are she and they, so they should be fun to play. And you can find me on, I guess, X now, or whatever. At sin_gal. You can find me on Instagram at crimson_galaxy_RPG. And every Monday you can find me either over on the initiative order at 6 p.m. Pacific time, playing some Power Rangers. And on the opposing Mondays, you can find me over on twitch.tv/Casper_NBGhost, playing some Monster of the Week in our Ghost Hunters campaign.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited to see what shenanigans Lexi's going to get up to. Let's go around the circle counterclockwise on the stream. So next up is you, Steve. Who are you? Where can people find you? And who are you playing tonight?
Oh, hi. I'm Steve. Who am I'm just a dude, on the internet doing the thing. I run a semi put together stream on Twitch sometimes under the name Sassy Pants 1996. I'm also on YouTube where I stream Skyrim, because who doesn't love Skyrim, right?
Right.
You can find me on X under the name Steve H4815, because Sassy Pants was taken, which I'm still very pissed off about. But we're not going to talk about that today. I'm currently playing Shalot. That's what I'm calling him. He's a Saiyan warrior from Dragon Ball Z, and he's basically descended from Saiyans who escaped planet Vegeta about 100 years ago, and he's like the third generation of Saiyans who hasn't really seen the destruction of the planet, but he has heard a lot of stories about it. What else? I run I don't run it technically, but I'm part of a about 30 session long running campaign called The Tales of Fate, where I play a bard, because it fit my personality really well, apparently. And I also play a sorcerer over on It's Me Briar, with friends every Wednesday. Technically, Wednesday night at like 6 p.m. EST, I think, that if my math is correct. But yeah, that's me. Hi.
Thanks for being here, Steve. Excited to have you. Next up is Janie. If you were frozen for a second. Janie, who are you? Who are you playing? And where can people find you on the internet? Can you hear us, Janie?
I'm going to say that's
Uh-oh.
a no.
I'm going to assume that's a no as well. We'll move right along to Tori. Same questions. Who are you?
Hi, my name's Tori. I'm all over the internet as that nerd Tori, including on the terrible No Longer Bird site. You can find me here on Twitch as that nerd Tori as well. I don't have a regular streaming schedule at the moment, but I am in the process of building a new PC. And once I'm done with that, hopefully I will be back to streaming soon. And then every other Saturday, you can catch me on Neon Lights Roleplaying, playing our Fate Core game Chimeriad. And I tend to pop up on other channels too, like here on Nerds with Dice or some other channels coming up soon. So keep an eye on my various social medias for where you can find me playing weird little characters. My pronouns are they, them. And I will be playing a interesting little character named Esda Stet, whose pronouns are also they, them. And they are a robot alien, basically.
I'm looking forward to that and seeing how that's going to shake out. Last but certainly not least, Jilly. Same questions again. Who are you? Where can people find you? And who are you playing tonight?
Hello, my name is Jilly. I am very slightly losing my voice, so that's exciting for me and for you. My name is look, it's Jilly. Most places on the internet, including the site that, like, are we just rolling over and calling it X now? I don't think I can do it. But the former Bird site, I am also on Linktree under look, it's Jilly. Jilly is spelled with a G. I understand that's confusing. SNL did not do me any favors there. So the last thing that I did was I wrapped up a campaign of Misspent Youth with our illustrious producer Sophia on Girls Run These Worlds. That finished on Friday. It's a little mini series of 5 episodes that you can check out on their Twitch or YouTube. And before that, I did a Invisible Sun campaign on Sword and Key called Fraying Threads, which was a really fun time. Next, I will be on this very channel on Saturday for Nox's Masks game. Which, does it have an official name? I don't know that it does. I think it's Masks is what I think. But I also could have missed that memo. It says Masks a New Generation. I looked at the promo image. Thank you, technology. Where I will be revisiting a character who I have played in Masks before, and it's going to be a really fun time. I am playing Pier Empyreon of the Astra, who is let's just call them what they are, a space dragon, because I believe that you should live your dreams. I'm a big buff space dragon who is like so green as to be almost like black. Like the pigment is so like concentrated. Is that the word? I don't know. Very, very dark green. And Pierre's pronouns are pretty much any pronouns, but primarily she, he, they. Pierre does not subscribe to other beings' notions of gender. And of the Astra is her sort of clan, her people, and they are nomadic space dragons. Pierre has settled temporarily on Station G as a head of security, or sort of not the head of security, but I think probably like middle management security, and is big and buff and strong, which I'm very excited about because who doesn't love a space dragon? If you're wondering, can this dragon fly in space? The answer is heck yeah, because I have wings, yo. That is all the information I think we need.
All right. I am very excited to see what Dragon in Space is going to end up being. I think we do have Janie back now. Can you hear us, Janie? Oh no, we can't hear you now. The mute gods have been appeased.
It wouldn't be
All
a
hail
stream
the mute
without
gods.
technical issues. I was about to start my on-stream knitting and found that my cat had bit through part of the yarn. So you know what? Issues all around.
All right, I think we can hear you now, Janie.
Take care for everyone.
Yes.
Am I taking care for everyone?
Yes.
No.
Sorry.
I am taking care to everyone.
I'm sorry. Trying to, um,
Real quick, where can people find you on the internet, and who are you playing tonight?
social media is JaniePot7575, and I am playing MIDR714. I mean, that's a normal name, right? It's not a robot name at all.
Yep. It's totally normal.
Name.
Everyone.
All right. I
Robot
think it's about
friends.
time to explain why literally everybody is so vastly different. This is probably the weirdest and most diverse cast of characters I've ever had in any game I've ever run. And the reason for that is we are playing SAGAS, which is setting and genre agnostic system. It is a universal TTRPG designed to easily slot any character into any world. It uses a feature-based character building system that allows you to mix and match actual abilities instead of tracking a dozen numbers on a sheet or more. You can play in any world or even jump between them in mid-campaign, though this is a one-shot, so we're going to stick to our one setting. Epic team combos are going to be seen. They're baked into the smooth and fast rules for the combat. In addition to hundreds of character features that these players have chosen from, there are also guidelines for quickly making your own in case you don't see what you need. This allows you to play in established worlds with no existing TTRPGs like Horizon, Pokemon, One Piece, Naruto, any of your favorite shows or movies. SAGAS can handle that setting. It has the potential to become the big next universal TTRPG. It just needs your help. And everything I just said is entirely biased because I created this thing. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm running it today. If you go over to, or just Google SAGAS, SAGAS playtest, you will get the top hit being the free playtest download for the system we're testing tonight. It is, I think, 2 downloads away from hitting 200 total orders, which is insane, way beyond what I ever imagined it would get to. So I'm super happy, and I hope you enjoy the game we are about to jump into tonight. So without further ado, let's get started with our story. Welcome to Station G, the most lucrative silver mine in this quadrant. The station is as big as the asteroid it's attached to. A high-tech shield provides atmosphere to the entire place and to both the station and the mine hollowed out in the rock. It makes the entire structure look like a single droplet of water floating through space. Inside, everything has a slight pale blue glow. The ever-present shield provides not only shelter from the vacuum of space, but air and light as well. The company runs a tight ship here on the station. The silver trapped inside this asteroid is difficult to remove, and they do anything they can to speed up the process, including some off-book experiments. Deep in the mine, the workday never stops. Without a day-night cycle, the rock always has miners in it. The company would have you believe that this place is not only a wonderful place to work, and for the first week or so, it is. But soon, they'll have you dieting on the same unpalatable slop as the rest of the miners, unethically long shifts, and a penal system that would never pass a government inspection without a hefty bribe. While technically not a prison, there is no real way to make a profit on Station G without skipping meals or giving up your bed. No matter the reason they came, many miners want nothing more than to leave. For some, just leaving is not enough. Many of the workers know time is running out. The asteroid is nearly bled dry, and soon the company will abandon these people. The plan is set. Everything is in place. It's time for our party to get off this rock with the silver they deserve. Emerging from one of the mine's entrances, we can see 3 workers pushing a cart filled with shiny ore. Steve, if you'll please describe what your character looks like emerging from this entrance.
Okay, so my character is a not so tall, uh, heavy built dude pushing this cart with a frown on his face. He has spiky hair. He's wearing a blue jumper of sorts with a very intricate looking armor on it. It looks hundreds of years old, and if you look at it, it looks like it was something that was royal and regal in its time. But now over the years, it has been replaced in some places by some patchwork, by some things to just keep it together as a memento of his family's past. Um, while he's walking down the corridor, if you look closely enough, you'll also see a long spiky tail protruding from behind his back, which is somehow fits through his armor, even though the armor looks like it doesn't have any holes in it, because that's just how it works. Apparently, his the armor uh, the armor is smart enough to let the tail through without causing any damage. The tail seems to have a mind of its own, but it also looks almost feels as stoic and composed as Shalot is. Um, yeah, that is I.
So as Shalat pushes this minecart up the hill along the track and into this, it turns slowly from a rocky sort of area. The railroad track continues, but it looks more like the inside of like a pure white ship, like the first shots in Star Wars. But alongside, you're standing probably at the back of the cart with using all your muscles that you can to push it up this hill. And on another side of the cart is Tori's character. If you'll please describe what they look like in this moment.
Yeah, so Ezda is very, very tall, probably close to 7 feet, very lanky or gangly. Some people might think that they look graceful or lithe or gangly, just depending on your perspective of them, really. They don't seem to have any sort of distinguishing features that would make human beings guess their gender in any way. They have silvery blonde hair that goes to about their ears. Their skin is silver and white, and it's not really skin in the strictest sense. It certainly doesn't look like skin. It's silver in patches and white in other patches. They have blue eyes that are slightly illuminated. And they have very long fingers and long limbs and an oval shaped face.
And as you push the cart with all your might, trying to get it, you have a place to be, all of you. The clock is ticking. You made a plan with the rest of the party before this started, and it is starting to fall into place. The third of the trio that is pushing this cart is Lexi. Crimson, please describe what your character looks like as they assist pushing this cart filled with silver ore.
Sure. Lexi is, I'd say she has like medium hair, eyes that seem to always have a little bit of a light behind them, and is pretty much always smiling. She typically wears like basically like a vest with a tank top underneath it, and like short shorts, and it's just like a very athletic build, but she's also like almost kind of goofy in like the way that she holds herself. She's like very bouncy and just yeah.
Seems like the only person here that's having anything close to an enjoyable time.
Oh, I don't know if she's enjoying it. She's probably more like, when are we going to start this job? Because, like, my energy levels are just way too high.
The tension in the air is palpable as you continue pushing the cart past a guarded door. The door itself is simple, painted entirely white, just like the hallway around it, though parts of the hallway are covered with dust and dirt from the carts constantly going in and out of this place. Um, and one of the guards steps away from the door. He's wearing white armor that matches the surroundings. You cannot see his face. You cannot see anything except that he appears to be bipedal, and he carries a cattle prod like weapon on his hip. And he puts a hand on the front of the cart, stopping you three. And almost robotic voice says, "Halt! Where are you taking this?"
To the place where we're supposed to take it, you know, our jobs, like we do every fucking day. Sorry, I'm not 100% sure on that. But yes, uh, that's what we do, right? That's our job. So we do our jobs, and that's what we're doing. Yes.
Uh, Steve, go ahead and make a check. The first check of the game. How this works in Sagas is whatever you're trying to do, you look at your character sheet, and there are going to be lots of different like sort of features on your sheet that will tell you what you can roll in certain situations. But if nothing on your sheet applies, you're going to be rolling a d10 for this one. So you got anything that applies to trying to convince your way past a guard that has stopped you?
I don't think so. Uh, no, I don't. No.
All right. Just a d10 for you then.
That's a 2.
This is a roll under system, so 2 is amazing.
Let's
Um,
go.
and as the guard sort of is like taken aback, and you can tell just by his body language, he takes like a half step back and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were in such a hurry." And it's at
That's
this
right. You
point.
should be sorry.
It's at this point that Pier, the other guard at the door, steps up behind the first one, who is not a part of this party and was not a part of the plan. Pier, please describe what you look like.
I am a big freaking dragon is what I am. I Pure is not wearing armor because I have dragon skin, which is like armor. Excuse me. Pure is carrying, I think, some kind of weapon on their hip. I think it probably looks kind of like a lightsaber. It is not. It is legally distinct from a lightsaber, to be clear, but it looks kind of like a lightsaber. Pierre's not wearing armor, but does have like clothing on that is kind of simple, and a what looks like a extended ring around their neck. Um, which if people have seen them before will know expands into a space helmet, because while their skin can handle the vacuum of space, their face cannot. Or I guess under certain circumstances, but Pierre has become used to station life at the moment. So Pierre kind of strolls on up, and it is a very telling contrast that this other guard is in like full armor and Pierre's just chilling with nothing aside from a weapon and regular clothing in like browns and greens that match their dark green skin. I'm thinking like Odo vibes for the clothing, but in no other way because I'm a big freaking dragon.
You can see that this nobody guard that was assigned to stand here with you has stopped the people that you're planning on escaping this place with. Um, you know that your next step is to get through the door that you are guarding.
Better let him through.
Right. Yes, sir. And the guard hesitates as he begins to step aside, and he says, but sir, weren't we under strict orders not to let
Are you
anybody into this
questioning
lab?
my decision?
Go ahead and make a check to try to scare this guy shitless.
I just want to remind everyone that I am, in fact, a big freaking dragon. Which I will be doing at every opportunity, to be clear. This is the dream. I don't think I have anything that makes me good at this.
It's not going to be a very difficult check given the situation. This guy is
Okay.
highly outnumbered, and as you said, you're a big fucking dragon.
I rolled a 6 on a D10.
He sort of cocks his head slightly. Mask, it makes it impossible to tell what his facial expression is, but he nods and takes a half step back as the rest of you move the cart into this door, and Pierre, you open it, hit something on the wall. The door opens. Beyond, you can see a lab, a medical lab. There are two large gurney-like chairs. On the ceiling above them, looks almost like a white metallic spider of arms that just descend down, bending at their joints, each one with a different and lethal-looking instrument at its end. And strapped down to one of the tables, asleep probably, is Janie's character. Please describe for us what they look like.
The character is a tall, like, probably 5'11" or so, human-looking woman. Clearly, they're doing some kind of experimentally type stuff, so you probably see a wire or something sticking out somewhere, or lights, like base lights and wires. They have her dressed in a very business person looking suit, like a dressy suit with a big shiny badge with the logo on it. And she's got like dark hair that's back in the perfect business bun, and this looks very like if she stepped off the table, you'd expect her to call you to HR for discussion about being late from lunch or something.
As the four of you go into the room, I will reveal the next part of your plan, and that is to take MIDR 714 and take them with you. You've known about the unethical experiments that have happened in this room, and as part of this escape plan, not only are you stealing raw ore out from under the company's nose, but you are putting a stop to this place by having their subject, their test subject, join you in your escape. And the low-ranking guard is still watching from the doorway.
And I think I would Ezra would very quietly whisper, maybe to Pyre, what was the next part of this?
I think I guess I'm just gonna do the thing. I was gonna try and be smart about this, but I don't think that's in the heart of what my character is about. I need to search my soul, and I searched my soul and I found the disarm move, which I have. So I am going to upon having this whispered to me, put up like a single claw, like thoughtfully, and then just turn and disarm that guard, I hope.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll a reaction check because this is
Okay.
going to be trying to move faster than the guard does, and he is going to get a reaction check as well to see if he can dodge in time.
Okay, I can use a D8, and if I hit, the creature drops one object of my choice. Is the move, or I think it's a trait, right?
Right.
Talent.
This
It's
is a talent. Before that happens, you have to make sure that you get to him before he realizes what's happening. That's the check we're doing
Well,
first.
this is fine. So I'm rolling a D10.
You're rolling a d10 for this.
Is there any way that I can help out?
Yes, in Sagas, there is something called the help action. You can spend 1 effort point and describe how you help, how you assist this check, and whoever's making the roll will get to roll 2 dice and take the lower one.
Okay. Can we wait and see what the roll is first?
No, you're going to have to help before we know whether the roll succeeds or not.
Okay, sure. Why not? I feel like maybe Charlotte is going to trust that the big dragon can do what they are designed to do, and
I'm
so
security.
he's not going to interfere this time.
All right. What'd you get on your reaction?
4.
That beats his 6. Go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, this is a D8. That is a 1, which seems good.
If only you were doing damage. That's a crit. That's literally the best you can possibly get. So with blinding speed, take your claw out, and he doesn't even realize what happens. He just blinks once, and suddenly you're scratching yourself with the butt of his weapon, his little cattle prod thing, and he just sort of, what just happened?
Shh. Sit down now. I think there's just like a claw on the head. Just like you sit. You sit now.
Well, what if there's like
Go ahead.
What if there's like a weight sensor or something for when we unstrap MIDR7? Shouldn't we strap someone else in there just in case?
Oh, I like that idea.
I am indifferent.
I
I've
think we should do
accomplished my
that.
goal.
Let's attach the guard to the table.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. It's a nice, comfy table.
This is what you get for being a class traitor.
The guard
I
is
think-
going to spin around and try to bolt.
Oh, I'll grab him.
All right, go ahead and make a check to grab the guard.
Do you think I could potentially use my sure-footed movement to get that down to a D8?
Not in this case. Sure-footed is for traversing difficult terrain, and this terrain is about as easy as it could be.
Could I use my martial arts to get him then?
Do you want to grab him, or do you want to attack him and do damage?
Well, I was hoping I could use my martial arts in a way that would actually let me grab him, because there's a bunch of martial arts that are all about grabbing.
I'll accept that argument. You can use a D8 on this.
Cool. That's a 4.
Versus his 2 on a D10. As you reach out towards him, his arm just slips right out of your fingers. You barely scratch his armor, and he is going to start sprinting down the hallway.
Wait a minute, I'm very fast. I'm going to do something about this. I have the sprinter ability. So can I use that sprinter at level 2, in fact, to chase after him?
Oh, hell yeah, you can. Go ahead and make a check to run faster than this guard. And Crimson, since you failed the check, if you don't have all of your effort, you failed the check, so you get 1 effort point back. But you can only have a maximum of 3.
Okay.
So that's a 4 on a D8.
Well, he also rolled a 4, and ties go to the player.
Yes.
So you just tackle this guy to the ground. And as you do, his helmet comes flying off. And you can see this just terrified, like 18-year-old guy. Just his dark skin is framing his wide, terrified eyes. And he just yells out, "Help! Help!"
And Ezda puts one very large hand over his mouth and smiles at him and goes, "Please do not resist."
Could I potentially use my power of control wind to stifle the sound that's coming out by blowing the wind back down his throat?
You are going to give this man an embolism.
Yes, I'm going to consider this an attack roll, though.
Yeah, that's fair. What should I roll for that? The control wind skill doesn't have a die associated with it.
In that case, it's a D10.
All right. That's a 4.
With a 4 is lower than his defense, so you manage to push wind back into his lungs and like stretch him slightly from the inside out. He is going to take 1 point of damage.
And as he tries to cope with this horrible experience, I will continue to say, "Please do not resist. Please do not resist. Please do not resist."
Make a check to see if you can convince him to not resist. You're muted. And this is going to be a relatively difficult check because he's actively being attacked.
Okay, well, let's see. Sorry, I pulled D12s for some reason instead of D10s.
That's right. Sagas uses D12s. You're in the clear.
Oh, good. Okay. That's a 7. I don't think that's gonna do it.
No, he is going to resist all the way.
You know, that's fair.
He is actually going. We will switch back to the actual lab where Shalom Pier and MIDR7 are all gathered. Right now, our test subject friend is still tied down to this table, but slowly coming back to consciousness.
I am going to trust that my speedier friends have that under control because I am not fast. I'm not built for speed, y'all. So I'm going to use, if I may, a claw to cut the restraints. I have sharp claws. I'm a dragon.
Easy enough. I'm not going to ask for a check for this.
While this is happening, I would like to shoot a energy blast at the robotic structure up atop that was experimenting on our friend to try to damage it or even destroy it.
Yes. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. That is a 5.
With a 5, yes. You, as your... Actually, I'll let you describe. What does your energy blast look like?
So, through his gloves, through Charlotte's gloves, you see a whitish blue pulse begin to form. And he brings his arms down to his sides before he stretches them out as far as they'll go and just shouts, "This is for being absolute pieces of shit!" And pew pew with both his hands, two large, not loud, sorry, large beams. It looks like they they like form balls, and then their projectile shot towards the structure instead of like a constant beam. It's like, it's like yeah. So that's how he shoots them towards the thing.
2 quick blasts, and the structure above bends inward. You can see the ceiling begin to dent upwards, and the arms just sort of like coalesce together. And immediately the something up there begins to smoke, and it just slowly starts crawling this black smoke along the ceiling. And this is looking straight up. This is what you wake up to, DR7. What do you do now that you are free and you see that the instruments that have been used to experiment on you are broken?
I pull off the rest of the leads and whatever other kind of random wires are connected, and I get up and I look for anything that could be weapon-like.
Go ahead and give me a check to quickly search around the room for a weapon.
What do I roll for that?
If you got nothing on your sheet that would help you search around a room for a weapon, then you would roll a d10. As DR7 continues to look around for a weapon, we can see, I'm not even going to make you guys do checks for this. You grab that terrified guard and drag him kicking and fighting back into the room with relative ease, just being over sheer numbers overpowering him. With Lexi grabbing the feet and holding them up, and Tori having the rest of the body, just dragging them into the the laboratory.
Okay. If I've got the feet, I'm taking one of the boots off of it and the sock. And then I'm going to put, after we set them down on the table, after DR7 is up, I'm going to put the sock in their mouth so they can't scream. And, yeah.
Unfortunately, it looks like there's no way to, because the bonds were severed and not like undone. There isn't really a way to tie him down at this point unless you guys have like rope or something.
My claws are
can-
not built for finesse.
That's fine.
But you can definitely lock him in this room.
Should we knock him out?
That seems appropriate.
All right, cool. I'll just like take my elbow and hit him against the head.
Good.
Make a please make an attack roll.
So
5.
With a 5, that also hits, and he only had 2 health to begin with. So as your elbow connects with his temple, his head just and he is knocked out. The toe of his own sock spilling out of his mouth.
Nice. Okay, sleep well. Pat, pat, pat. And okay, so how many levels do we gotta go for the ship that we're gonna be taking again?
Many. And Pierre will make sure that he can breathe. Even though he's because if the sock, I'm concerned about asphyxiation. That would be a lot for the janitors to clean up, and Pierre is a great believer in the janitors union. So Pierre will kind of go to, I'm guessing like there's a panel on the wall, and Pierre taps it with their claw, and it kind of opens to like the "You Are Here" map of the lab. Like, this is where the fire escape is. This is where the elevator is. Like, I feel like, you know how classrooms have the fire evacuation plan in every classroom? I feel like this is that.
I think
right.
Esda would rattle off exactly how many floors they have to go, maybe even exactly how many yards or meters or feet or whatever.
And you do exactly that, having been one of the main people that put this plan together in the first place. The goal from here, now that you have everything you need, is to sneak/fight your way to the hangar, where the last ship of the day is being loaded up with ore. You're going to commandeer that ship and pilot it out of the station into space and figure out where to go from there. So I need you, as you all lock the unconscious guard into the room, and you have your last cart of ore. You have 2 options in the plan at this point. First is to hide DR7 in the cart, because as a experimental subject, they would be very easily recognized by any company member. Just because there's because of the money that has gone into that room and that experiment. But you could figure out a way to more easily disguise them, or just fight your way through this whole thing. It seems like no alarm has been raised yet.
I think we should begin with a plan of stealth. And if all else fails, then we can punch things.
I think that you see perhaps like a flicker of apprehension at the word stealth from me, because I am a giant dragon, as you may have heard through rumor. But I think what's gonna happen is, if we're doing stealth, they're gonna swing their laser sword over their shoulder, like casually, and kind of take up a post like they're guarding the shipment as it's walking, and say, I agree, we should attempt to be inconspicuous, and then takes a long look around the group of people that are gathered here. Inconspicuous.
And I think a little bit too loudly, Lexi's like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, we are a little conspicuous, aren't we? And they sort of like look at their general silver body.
Inconspicuous requires to hide, so we should hide, walk in the shadow areas.
Sure. We should just look like we belong, like we are doing a routine delivery. And if a problem arises, we will solve it.
Why don't we just take the emergency exit stairwell all the way to the floor that we're supposed to be going to? That way, if anyone does see us, we can just knock them out.
That will raise alarms, I assume. I assume I know the security system.
Make a check to see if you would know whether or not it would raise alarms.
3.
It would raise alarms. There might be ways to disable those alarms, but you're not sure what those would be.
Yeah.
If there are alarms, I am extremely good at tampering with electronics. Out of character, I
Alright.
have a whole ability for that.
I mean, I, the player, believe you. I am, however, like a 7.5-foot dragon, so stealthiness is not on my list of skills. So we shall attempt that. Yes, I suppose.
We won't
make
need
your
to be
way-
that stealthy if I can disable all of the alarms.
I am very confident in our ability to be stealthy.
Yeah, we're the best.
I'm confident in my ability to be stealthy.
I thought you said we are a team.
We are.
You get blinked at by a large dragon.
This is not only the most conspicuous group ever, it's like, if there was a charisma score, it wouldn't be good.
No. No, this is not a high charisma dragon. Although ironically, I do have a thing that is charisma based that really hurts me for stealth. So we'll get there, I
Me
assume.
too.
Yeah.
The only thing I
You
have for stealth
continue-
is that heat sensing things can't see me. So if they have heat scanners, I can get right through those.
Mm-hmm.
As you discuss your plan, you start making your way towards the emergency exit. But I have to ask, are you bringing the cart filled with ore with you, or are you leaving that behind?
We need the ore. We need the ore to start over.
Yeah, isn't
That's
that the
a good
silver we
idea.
want?
It is not all of it. You're not just stealing one bucket of ore, you're stealing an entire shipment.
That's actually a really good idea, though. Oh, yeah. That's actually a really good idea, though. DR7, since you are super recognizable, do you think that if we cleared out some space and then just put like a light layer of ore on top of you, you'd be able to hide in the ore bin as we deliver it to the ship?
Yes, that is possible.
Cool.
Not to tell you to get in the cart, but get in the cart if the need arises. Apparently, we're going a different way, so I think I sigh very deeply in Dragon.
If
Which is
there's
actually the
a
same as every other language.
Correct.
if there's a emergency exit, like if there's a door in this room or near this room to access the emergency stairwell, I think Esda would go over to it and start checking to see if there is any kind of alarm system on it.
Go ahead and make a check for traps.
Okay, well, I don't have that, so it's going to be a D10, but let's see how it goes. Check in for trap. Oh no, that's a 9.
You heard there were traps here. You're pretty sure they're here. In fact, it's gone off before when you've seen people use these emergency stairwells. But for the life of you, you can't figure out what the trigger is.
Now here's my question. I have the hacker ability, and any checks I'm making to bypass electronic security, I get a D8. But this isn't bypassing, this was trying to notice the security, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I would look at, is it DR7? Is that your character's name? It's covered up on my screen. I can't see. Oh yes, DR7. So I would look over at DR7 and I would go, actually, before you get in the cart and become covered in ore, would you mind looking at this door and helping me figure out where the mechanism for the security is? I'm having a moment.
Yeah, it looks like a door.
Yes, I'll assist you
Please,
with
someone
that.
else check for traps.
Janie, go ahead and make a roll to try to find what triggers the alarm on this door.
Okay, and what do I roll for that again?
If you have anything on your sheet that would help you, that'll tell you. If there's nothing on your sheet that applies to the check, then you roll a d10.
So I didn't have anything on my sheet. I'm guessing they did not program that in me yet, but I got a 4 on my roll.
That's much better than a 9.
Yes, it's significantly better than a 9. You can see, you can follow this little wire that sort of like sticks out of the door frame and goes around it very slightly. And it appears that there is some sort of connection there that, if it's broken, will set off an alarm.
We can't break this connection.
Ah, well, now that I can see the connection, I think I can figure out a way around it. And now I would like to use my hacker skill.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, let's try a different. Oh god, I'm dropping dice. All right, a 2.
And with a 2, you take out actually some of the ore. You rub it down, clean it off slightly, and hold it up to the door, and open it very slightly. And the connection still holds as the door is opened.
Excellent. Thank you very much, DR7. We can go through the door now, everyone.
I would like to try something. So, since we don't really know a lot about DR7, I'm assuming that there's like a bunch of computers, or like, I don't know, futuristic computers with a lot of data on them about DR7, about how they function and everything else. So, would there be a way to like remove the hard drive, take it with us in case we need to do some repairs, in case we need to help them in any way for future reference, whatever?
Are you scared I'm going to like go evil robot on you all?
The opposite, actually.
I'm in support of this idea because I also have the ability to fix electronics feature. So if you get hurt, I can probably fix you.
Yeah. So, is there like, can I just pull out the hard drive or something?
Of who or what?
So the hard drive where the data is stored about DR7's workings and mechanisms and stuff like that.
Like on the
Oh,
computers in the
yeah.
lab.
We'll retcon a little bit and say you're going to make a check to try to find that in the room and like figure out which of these hard drives has the necessary data.
Okay, fair enough. I don't have anything for that, so I'm going to roll a d10. Yes,
Yep.
that is an 8. Oh,
Ooh. Not a lot of clues in here. All the computers are off and you don't have time to turn all of them back on to try to figure out which one is the important one.
can I grab them all? All the hard drives?
Yes, you can grab all of the hard drives, but it delays you slightly. People are going to start asking questions when you don't show up back down in the mine, and every little bit of time counts. It's going to be helpful information once you manage to figure out what's on it, but right now, it is a sacrifice you're making. So now Shalod is just carrying an armful of computer parts, wires dangling out that have been ripped off. And you go ahead.
I think that I am looking around for, because I work under the assumption as a security officer that things are going to go wrong at all times. And so I'm looking for like extra things to take with me to kind of bash people on the head with. Like if there's like a pipe that I can break off and just be like, okay, great. I got the laser sword. I got a giant pipe to whack people with. I'm good. I'm a dual wielder.
There are definitely pipes inside this emergency stairwell, but you don't know what they're for. And you have no idea what's inside them.
Do I see
Feel
any
like
food?
In the emergency stairwell?
Yeah.
No. You do
Oh,
not
okay.
you do not see anybody's, lunch that has been tossed aside and forgotten.
There's like 3 crushed goldfish crackers in the corner. I kind of want a pipe. It's fine. It's fine. We'll go on. It's fine.
You continue. You start climbing these stairs. You said you're bringing the cart of ore, this like several 100-pound cart filled with another 100 pounds or so of ore up with you.
I'm so
up these
strong.
stairs. All right, make a check to carry a cart filled with rocks.
I don't know if that's very, very good or very, very bad. It's a 0. So technically, in some
That's
systems,
10.
it could be subscribed as a 0, though. Like, all I'm saying is that technically, it looks like a 0.
Yes, but you can only roll as low as a 1. So that is going to be a 10 for you.
But without my muscles, what am I?
A dragon.
Correction, a space dragon. Thank you. Well, this is a very
You
heavy
take one
card.
look at this, and even with your bulk, you know that carrying this up 7 to 10 flights of stairs is not reasonable.
Can we all lift it together?
I hear some help actions coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do as well. I'm a Saiyan warrior. Damn it! My family served as royal guard to Prince Vegeta, and I can do this. I am super strong, and I will help our dragon friend carry all of this load up the staircase. Hell yeah!
And I'm just a little
Um,
robot, but I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna try
Okay.
to use my air, my controlling of wind to just like take some weight off of it by putting like weight under the
Like an
middle of
updraft.
it. Yeah, exactly. And since I am second rank, I can move up to the weight of medium creatures. So, like 200 pounds, I can take off of it.
Yeah, I'll allow that. So go ahead and let's see. Lexi and Ezda are taking the help action, and our Saiyan friend is going to be leading this check. So you both are going to spend 1 point of effort to assist with this, and then Steve, you'll get to roll 3 dice and take the lowest.
Let's go. Okay, it's a 1, a 2, and a 10. So
With a 1, that is perfect. You think back to your Saiyan history, the noble line and the blood that runs through your veins and the power that comes with it. You thought you'd be using it for something other than carrying rocks upstairs, but here you are. And boy, can you carry those rocks. And just taking the stairs 3 at a time. Hop, 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 hop. You all follow and very quickly make your way up these stairs. You
I
get to the
always take
door.
stairs 3 at a time because I'm 7 feet tall and all legs.
I take stairs one at a time, but I do it really, really fast.
In my brain, Ezda looks a little bit like the Camino aliens from Star Wars, like just very long limbed.
Yes. You very quickly make it to the top of the stairs with this cart, and you peek through the window up at the top. Going out, exiting these staircases does not set off an alarm. And you look out the window, and this is it. This is the hangar. You can see the giant. There's just this huge room filled with all sorts of different spacecrafts. You can see very, very tiny little, like almost like tugboats, but for space. You know that they are only fit one person in them, but they have engines that can tow the entire station. You can see a couple of like little tiny scramjet looking things. Appear to be some sort of combat vessel, but the one that takes up almost the entire hangar itself is this huge, enormous, like 3-story tall, boxy ship on 4 very large pieces of landing gear. And you can see 3 or 4 groups of people, separate groups, loading entire shipping containers onto this vessel. This is the one that you need to escape on. This is the one you have to sneak onto and commandeer. And as you continue to take in the surroundings, I'd like to ask, what is the plan going forward? You can see a couple of groups of guards, but there is no cover between you and the ship.
Well, we need to take the ore that we're bringing to the ship. And
Yeah, we could just sort of pretend we're bringing this ore onto the ship. Unless folks have other ideas that are maybe less brazen.
That was the original plan, but now that you're here, his nerves are high. Tension is palpable.
Did you say 3 to 4 groups of guards or 3 to 4 guards?
3 to 4 groups of people that don't appear to be guards are loading ore onto the ship.
Okay.
And you can, looking around, you count about 7 guards.
Okay, so that's more than we have people. Okay.
Mhm.
we'd be fine, though.
So there's no cover at all. So from here till the ship, there's no cover.
You could run down along the side. There's appear to be some boxes along the edge of the hangar, but there's going to be a point where you have to sprint across open area.
Okay. So what this calls for is a distraction then.
I don't know if we even need it, technically. I mean, we have this cart of ore. They are currently loading in ore. We can get to the ship just fine. It's just we need to keep them from preventing us from getting on the ship once we're there.
True.
But won't it attract everybody's attention if we're at the door of the ship and suddenly people start freaking out at us?
We'll be fine.
I was thinking because there's 4 of us, 4 people pushing one cart is probably not how they load carts. So that is what I'm worried about. So here's
Good
what I was
point.
thinking. You see, and then you notice me create a small energy ball in my hand. So what if I were to toss one of these at the other end of the wherever we are, the shipyard, and
you can
cause a
see
little
a
bit.
couple of tanks filled with something, hopefully flammable. You can't tell from here exactly where he's pointing.
Can we grab another cart?
You could sneak around with your one cart and grab another one that is waiting to be loaded. Yeah.
I think that's a smarter play.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea, but like we could just keep going.
Is there any... I could hack the electronics and create a less destructive diversion. Maybe make some alarms go off.
I can make
clear out the guards.
Yeah, I would like to avoid as much chaos as possible, even though, I know we all hate this place, but I don't want to hurt the innocents.
Right, but I could make some kind of alarm go off, and maybe the guards will go run over there, and people will be distracted, and we can run up onto the ship.
Yeah.
Could be a multi-pronged approach.
Yeah, and we could wait till the entire ship has been loaded. That way we don't have to wait too long in the ship.
Good idea. Maximum amount of ore.
I'm all about keeping the innocents safe, but like, let's be honest, these security guards aren't innocent. They're just here to protect the wealth of the wealthy.
Excuse me, I'm literally right here.
Yeah, but you're not
towering
with them
over you.
anymore.
Some of them are innocent. Some of them ate my sandwich last week, and quite frankly, I'm indifferent as to what happens to them.
Okay, so I'm going to try and make some kind of check with all these abilities I gave myself. I have the analyst trait. Can I sort of assess, like, what the guards are doing, what the people are doing, and sort of figure out what the chances are that they will immediately all mob us if we try and just walk over to the ship with our cart.
Yeah. You can try to figure out the probability of your current plan succeeding. Go ahead.
I'd like to go see 3PO. Okay. That's a 4.
Not bad. Not bad. So the current plan is for you to turn on some alarms to create a diversion. And while that is happening, you are going to go over to the place where people are loading up carts, and you are going to grab one more, and that is going to get all of you onto the ship. Once you're there, you're going to wait for the rest of the carts to be loaded and basically stow away on this vessel. And with a 4, this actually has quite a high chance of success.
Okay, so based on my calculations, if we were to distract the guards long enough for us to grab another cart, all of us head towards the ship and then hide until they're done loading the cargo, we would have maybe even a 70% chance of success. But we wouldn't be in control of the ship. That is the thing to remember.
We can always take the pilots out once we're outside of the dock. That's no problem.
True.
How many zones away is this ship?
Oh, it's right in front of us.
So it's about 5 zones, which is about 100 feet away to one side. No, this hangar is enormous, and that is the area where the back of the ship is being loaded.
I think this is a good plan. I think Esda has a good plan, and I'm down to do this, to try this.
And with the last pieces of the plan finally in place, we are going to go on a quick break, and we will be back shortly. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Where we left off, our heist party has managed to get up the stairwell and to the hangar with 1 cart of gold and all the party members intact and undamaged, still
Silver.
flying just barely under the radar.
1 card of
Um,
silver.
1 cart of silver. It's rocks, but it can be turned into better stuff. You are staring at this enormous ship, 3 stories tall and even longer than that. Your plan: hack the alarms, make a distraction, and in the fray, sneak onto the ship with 2 more carts of ore. Then wait for the rest of it to be loaded into this vessel and wait for the vessel to take off. And then, once it's out of there, take the pilots, commandeer it, and go wherever you damn please. This is the plan. We're about to see if it works.
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
You're all immune to misfortune. If we say it
I
enough,
feel like
it'll...
that's not a game mechanic.
Lucky is a thing, but...
But...
All right. First step is hacking the alarms. Ezda, just
Yes.
inside the hangar, right next to this door, you can see the panel that you need.
All right. I'm going to... Do I have to sneak over to it, or can I just sort of walk over?
There are not any... There's no guards nearby. So but I still need you to do a stealth check because there's no cover by this panel either.
Right.
So they might see you from a distance. It's
It's
not going to be too difficult, but it still needs to
just
happen.
in case anyone's using heat sensing technology, I don't give off any heat. Just so everybody knows.
That's true. That is right.
All right. Damn, that's an 8.
Well, that is not quite enough.
Ah!
You start hacking into this. The control panel.
Wait, was that a
in
hacking
the-
roll or a stealth roll?
Oh, that was a
That
stealth
was my
roll.
stealth
You're right.
roll.
You're right. So, with a stealth, you quickly go over to the panel, and you can see cameras above you, but none of them are pointing down at you. You hear a shout, "Hey!" from like 100 feet away. You've been spotted. You need to start hacking now in order to get this to work.
All right, come on, dice. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, it's a 4. It could be worse. Let me see, with my hacker ability, that is not bad. And once the security is bypassed, I can control anything connected to the system.
That is true. You have bypassed security, and the guards are making their way closer to you. 2 of them. They appear to be the only 2 that have noticed you. You have a moment to do something.
I am setting off an alarm at the far end of the hangar, like maybe in another room at the far end of the hangar.
Far end, on the opposite side of the ship, suddenly you can see flashing red lights and a bam, 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 bam. And the guards, I'm going to have to roll a die for this to see if they also get distracted with everybody else.
If they don't, I say we attack them.
The guards look at you. One of them looks back. You can see them talking to each other for a moment. They turn and start running towards the alarm.
Haha, success. And I'm going to make sure that there just keeps being different alarms going off at that end of the room.
You manage to set off a timed switch so that alarms change back and forth. You did fail a stealth roll, though. And when you fail a roll in Sagas, you get 1 effort point back.
Hey, that's nice.
I assumed that we should go.
Yes, go, go,
Um,
go, go, go time.
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna fly because that seems like as the crow flies, as the dragon flies, the most direct route.
But that might draw way a lot of attention to us.
It's probably fine. Listen, it's either this or I do something with my tail. I have wings and a tail. What more do you want from me?
My brain immediately thought that you would jump like a kangaroo on your tail.
It's a vibe. I'm gonna try and instead of going all the way down, I'm gonna try and cut the corners by flying, right? Because this is a hangar. I assume it's filled with stuff, so I just want to use
yeah.
it to help me.
All right. So as you are all running together as a group towards this ship, you take a quick corner and you turn a very tight bend. You're the one that's pushing the cart, and you do have to use your tail to keep the cart from tipping as you sprint to the ship. I need you to make a check to stop the cart from falling over.
Okay, I don't think the tail gives me anything, right? Let me look.
With the tail,
wait,
you would be able to.
The tail can grab things with tail. No, I don't get a bonus die or anything. Okay. That's not a D10. Okay, there we go. That's a 5.
A 5. It tilts and balances on two wheels. Two pieces of ore clunk out as you continue to. It makes a horrible screeching sound against the hangar floor, but then rights itself. And you continue sprinting towards this ship. And all of you get there, and the workers don't even notice you arrive. They're all looking like craning their necks, rubbernecking it to try to figure out what the alarms are for, and all the guards have swarmed that side of the hangar.
Mhm.
We got this. We've got this.
Right. All
I'm
right,
gonna
we got
grab
this,
another
yes.
cart from where the workers are grabbing carts and just start to push it. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to say to whatever one's closest to me, we should really think about unionizing.
The woman that you spoke to, this rough, burly, completely bald woman in overalls, just sort of says, "Yeah, we've been talking about it for a long time. I don't think I've seen you around." And she
Normally, I'm
turns.
down in the processing.
All right, all right. I guess it's a nice change of pace. Nice change of pace.
Yeah, they said they wanted to get it loaded up extra quick today. So, I'm just helping out outside of my area because, you gotta follow management's rules.
Yeah, I'm not here to ask questions. I'm just here to get paid.
Exactly.
And with the small talk, you manage to deflect her interest away from you and embed the idea of a union in her head. You walk slowly up the ramp into this ship, and I need you all to make stealth checks as you try to find places inside this vast interior to hide. It's not going to be difficult because there are boxes lashed down everywhere. There are several lashed into slots on the walls. There's even a couple hanging from the ceiling. But there are just boxes and crates filled with this silver ore everywhere you look.
I would like to remind that if there are heat sensing security systems, they don't catch me.
Do I know what the security would look like on this? Like, if there is like scanners or anything, or
As your history, do you have any like backstory that would inform you of how ships are put together?
I mean, I'm part of a nomadic dragon tribe, right?
All right.
Like I assume we can fly in space, but I mean, I didn't explicitly say this, but my assumption is that we don't always only fly around as dragons. Like we have
ships are
ship
usually
technology.
faster.
Yeah, it's a lot
All right.
faster to go by ship than it is for me to flap.
Yeah, go ahead and make a check to see if you can spot the security systems. And it's not going to be too difficult because you know what to look for.
Okay, I got a 7, which is not great. Is there something I could spend to be better at that? I don't think there is, right?
You can spend all 3 of your effort points to give yourself 1 extra die. If you're helping someone else, it only costs 1.
Sure, YOLO. Okay.
All right. All effort.
4.
And with a 4, you recognize this type of cargo ship. You've traveled on them before. You're familiar with the security systems. They are indeed heat sensing security systems. And they during a loading process, the security systems are almost always just off at all times. They'll turn back on once the door closes.
Automatically, or does someone have to do it?
Automatically.
Okay. I think I will turn to my more technically inclined friends, and I will say, when the door closes, the security systems will come back online. It will be unpleasant. You may want to do something about that. I think he just looks around at the group like, I've imparted the information. This is the edge of my capability in this matter. And nods and goes back to looking through, like, for useful things.
I could certainly try and disarm the system if we wanted to try that.
It will re-engage when the doors close.
Right.
Okay, so
I mean,
maybe we make our way up to the pilot bay. There's probably not going to be any security there. And the minute we leave airlock, we can take them out. But also, what exactly will the security system do? Will it detect people in there? Is it designed to keep people out, to keep people in, to make sure nobody tampers with the cargo? What does the security system do once it's
It'll
Yes,
detect
is the
heat
answer.
signatures in the cargo bay.
Okay, so we should leave the cargo bay and
I can stay
basically-
here.
This is your
Really?
time.
Far away is
Why?
the,
Why can you stay here? Why?
And then I would just sort of like tap you on the head with my hand, and my hand is literally cold. It's like
What
metal.
were you asking, Janie?
how many zones away is the pilot where we're currently going?
This is like a 30-foot long ship. So the space you're in right now is about the size of like an apartment. But that's only because the walls have large crates attached to all sides. The pilot's bay is the pilot's bay is down across the entire way, and then you have to climb a ladder and go through a door. So at 30 feet away, I'd say 3 zones.
I can stay down here, and then I do have a communication device so I could tip you guys off when the loading is done.
I also have a communication device.
Me too.
Hey! Oh my god, we all have cell phones. This is great. I'm gonna
Well,
I'm gonna
technically, I have a
Discord.
transponder snail.
Question.
A
What
Den
is,
Den Wushi, if you will.
what is considered close range?
Close range is an adjacent zone.
So I can I can communicate with all of you telepathically.
We are
That's
doing
pretty good.
great. So I could stay down here and then Discord DM you all when it's time to go.
Well, actually, I want to start walking towards. How many zones can I move at a time? Because I want to be able to just teleport.
We're not in combat right now, so there's really no limit.
Yeah, I'm just going to like start heading towards the pilot bay, and just when I get close to the teleport, that's what I want to do.
All right.
Yeah,
You're going to teleport into the pilot bay?
Yeah, unless they stop me.
All right.
Wait, where the pilots are?
You don't know if anyone's in there right now. But you see your experiment subject friend walk up to the base of that ladder, and then what does it look like when you teleport?
It looks just like a column of like blue streaks of light.
Good, very Star
Just
Trek.
very
I
quickly
like it.
flashes, and then you vanish. And in the cockpit, you can see it is not what you expected. The immediate surroundings are pretty much exactly what you expected. You can see 2 seats. You can see countless buttons and dials and lights that you have no understanding of. You can see another ladder down and out that you assume leads out of the ship itself. But the entire room is covered in like these short, foot tall, metallic chrome nutcracker looking things with top hats and little tiny beards and no hands and feet, just legs. And they all suddenly sort of turn their eyes towards you, and their mouths drop open. Ah! And as they clack, you can see little points of light appearing inside each of their jaws as you hear a zee. And I'm going to need everybody to make a reaction roll as we start combat.
Yeah!
Oh, I have a thing for that. I have a
Would
thing.
avoid count for that?
No, avoid is when things are attacking you.
Okay.
A reaction roll is basically an initiative roll.
Oh.
If you've heard of Dungeons and Dragons before.
No, never heard of it.
I got a 7.
All right, I'll ask in a moment once everybody's had a moment to roll.
I have fast reflexes, so I get to use a D8.
Awesome.
I have 2 ranks in it.
Did anybody get a 1?
Me!
Haha, nice.
I'm sorry. What do I roll? I can't figure that out. I'm sorry.
If you've got nothing that says you get an extra or worse or better die on reaction rolls, then you'll roll a d10. Anybody get a 2? 3? 4?
Uh-oh.
5?
I got it.
All right. 6?
I got a 6.
And how do you spell your character's name? I never figured that out.
So it's basically shallot with only one L. So it's shallot, but because that's how
Shallot.
Dragon Ball Z names are all vegetable names, but like, you know,
Are they
turned around.
really?
Yeah, that's
I
all
Yeah,
the
I
never
Saiyans
didn't know
realized
that.
that.
So, like,
All
you
of
know,
the
Vegeta,
Saiyans are vegetables,
yeah,
except for
Vegeta
Vegeta
is
himself, which is
is
vegetable.
vegetable.
But that's
Yeah.
because he was descended from the king of Vegeta.
I got a 3.
A 3, amazing.
That's good.
And I think I finally figured out a nickname to call your character to call on you quickly, and it's just going to be Dr. Seven. And what did you get, Ezra? Ezra? Ezda.
Ezda, I got a 7.
All right. Okay, first up is Pier. You see the teleport, and you hear something winding up inside the pilot's cabin.
Well, I'm in sort of an unfortunate predicament, which is that my main skill is lifting and hitting things, and I am currently able to do neither of those things. Um, I would like to. Can I get to the door of where I wouldn't assume the pilot's cabin to be?
You are at the front, the very back by the open back hatch of the ship. Then there are 3 zones inside of it. There's a zone you're in, then there's the middle of the ship, then there's the middle of the cargo area, then there's the front of the cargo area. And at the front of the cargo area, there's a ladder up into the pilot's cabin.
Okay, I want to go towards the pilot's cabin as far as I can get.
All right, so that would be your move action, which is you can move 1 zone. So you move into the middle of the room, and then you move again, moving into the right outside the door. You take your wings and you just flap up, bypassing the ladder entirely. And then you just like latch on to the outside of the closed door. But that is your movement and your action, and that's all you have in combat. So that is the end of your turn. Next up is Dr. Seven. And Lexi, you are on deck.
Okay, so I've got all of these little nutcracker things powering something
Mhm.
up at me.
Yep.
All at me. That's like completely unfair. Um, is there anywhere else in the room where I could hide?
No. This room is entirely covered in the things. You are completely surrounded after blindly teleporting in. It was a calculated risk and it fell through. You can always teleport back out. You can open the door behind you. You have heard a large thump as Pier attaches to the outside of that door.
Um,
Or you could try to stand your ground and attack them in here.
and these are definitely machines.
They appear to be machines.
Okay. You know what I'm going to do, just because I just feel like doing it.
Do it.
I am going to try to talk to them and tell them I'm just taking a walk. I have
All right, go ahead.
I can either use sweet talker or probably sweet talker is the best for this. The checks to convince others that your intentions are good may use a D8. It's persuasion. So, do I roll something?
Yeah, you get to roll a d8 to attempt to convince these tiny machines that you mean no harm. You are not a threat and you're supposed to be here.
Yeah, totally. Okay. Clear these old dice and roll a D8. Okay, I didn't do so well. I got a 6.
With a 6, they have already powered up their weapons and show no intention of stopping. That is your action. You still can move. I will allow you to open the door for free if you want and move back down the ladder.
But I can hear people outside of the ladder, correct?
Yes, your party members in the cargo bay behind you.
I will open the door for them.
And as you open the door, Pier, you see this mass of like these metal nutcrackers, all with lasers powering up from their mouths. And with that, it is Lexi's turn.
All right, so hear me out. I didn't go right in with them. I kept on helping load all of the cargo. That way we could get out of here faster. And how far away were they from being done?
There's still like a good 24 carts to put back on this ship.
In that case, I'm gonna like. How heavy are all of the carts?
Like 200-300 pounds.
Dang. All right. Yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna keep loading carts for now then.
So you just spend your turn. You continue to load carts. All right, Steve. Charlotte is up next.
Okay, so I noticed our dragon friend rush up to the door. I probably heard the noise as well. So
Yes.
I'm gonna. Can I see through the door? Is the door open? Can I see through it?
Yes, the door is open now. You can see your two party members on either side of the doorway, and beyond that, tiny little robots powering up lasers.
Okay, I'm gonna rush to the door while I'm yelling. Does anybody know how to pilot this thing?
All right, so you're using your movement and your action to get to the base of the ladder then?
Yeah.
All right. That is your turn. Ezda, you're up.
Okay, so I'm actually going to run not towards the pilot's cockpit, but towards whatever the nearest computer terminal looks to be. And I'm going to try and figure out what's going on, what's been activated, like just get the lay of the land.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a hacking check as you go to the computer terminal in the cargo bay.
All right. That's a 7. Not great.
With a 7, it is difficult to hack into. That's a failed check. You get 1 effort point back. You can. Would you like to stay at the terminal or would you like to move?
I'd like to stay at the terminal because I'm going to keep trying to get into this thing.
Okay. Next up is the toy soldiers. They are going to use their face beam attack. It does not harm other toy soldiers. For each toy soldier, since there's a bunch of them, they have a very long range, but they only are able to target the 2 that are closest to them. So all of them suddenly turn towards the central robot and fire lasers into him, and then like a shot from the Death Star, he lets out a super cannon attack, just right through that doorway. I'm going to need, let's see, Pier and Dr. 7 to please make avoid checks. What'd you get?
Does this count as a power magic psi ability?
Yes, it does.
I
Um,
have to use a D20.
That's right. Since you took power affinity, that's the drawback to learning so many powers, is that power from others attacks is attracted to you.
I don't think I have enough rank and shield cover to help me here. So that is a 9 because I rolled the wrong dice at first and it was good. And then I rolled the correct dice and it was bad.
And it was a 9 is a failure, so you lose 1 health, but it is a failed check, so you get an effort point back.
Hey, the good news is that I have so much health because, as previously mentioned, I'm a big freaking dragon.
Correction, space dragon.
You're right. I'm a fool.
And what did Dr. Seven get?
8.
An 8 is also a failure. You take the full blast of this laser. You lose 1 health and you gain 1 effort. That is, as they are, after they shoot that laser, the central one turns into powdery dust on the center of the floor, and the rest of them begin to swarm towards you. They start to crawl down the sides of the ladder on into the actual cargo bay area, and they are completely all over you. So you two are both in zones that are over capacity, which means you'll have to get out of those zones before you can attack. And there's some of them are just like grabbing onto you. There's just so many of these things. It's just a horde. These are Saga's horde mechanics, and they're nasty.
So if I teleport with a horde on me, does the horde teleport or do I just teleport?
Just you. You have an easy ticket out, but it is currently Pier's turn. As these toy soldiers crawl over you, what are you going to attempt to do? Since you are in a zone that is over capacity, you cannot attack. You can move, you can attempt to combo, which is you spend 3 effort and another ally gets an extra die and does an extra damage if they hit. You can try to move again. There's a lot of options.
Sorry, is it me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to responding to that name at the moment. I was like, how great for whoever's going now. It's me.
Oof.
So I would like to I have the dual wield trait, I think.
Yep.
Power trait. So I would like to kind of wade through these things. Like, this is what I'm built for. Wading through these machines. And I would like to kind of narratively, I don't know how this works, but basically it's like me with my laser sword in one hand and like whatever's available in the other, and I'm just like hitting things off of me as I go.
All right, go ahead, and this is going to be a movement check to get out, get away from the door and back into the cargo bay.
Okay. That's a 4.
A 4 is exactly what you needed. You managed to move 1 space away, and you are still at this point close enough where you can attack them from here.
Great. And I get to roll, because I'm dual wielding, I can attack with both simultaneously, and I can use a D8. Okay.
Yes, you can.
Because I have 2 ranks in dual wielding. So I'm going to do that. That is a 4.
A 4 is a hit. You deal 1 point of damage. And as you take out 2 of these things, your laser sword slices one in half, and your other weapon crushes one against the side of the inside of this cargo container. That's your turn.
I know it
Dr.
has to be a
Seven.
weapon, but I like to visualize it's just like a can in my fist, and I just go like that.
You grab one and you use it to smash another.
Yes.
Dr. Seven, you're up. That's you, Janie. And for those of you that are listening and are part of the Nerds with Dice Discord server, if you want to be able to visualize what these things look like, this is one of the actual monsters available in the game. So if you go to the general text channel in the Sagas Discord server, you can see the art that goes along with this monster inside the playtest document. Art is done by Rook Zero. He's amazing. But Janie, Dr. Seven is up. Muted.
That's because they didn't put my speech chips in correctly. How many are on me?
This is technically considered one creature. There's like a dozen on you.
Am I able to summon a steel baseball bat and knock some of them off?
With your create weapon talent?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you can. Does it take an action to summon the bat?
I don't know.
If it doesn't say, then I think it does. So you'll use your action to summon a bat this turn, and then you'll be able to use it the next turn.
It just said a mundane weapon is created instantly.
Yeah, so that'll be an action. Part of talents is if they don't say how long it takes to do them, it takes an action.
Okay. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing then.
All right. Do you want to stay in the cockpit or do you want to try to move down the ladder?
No, I'll stay there.
All right. Standing your ground like a boss. Lexi, you're up. And Charlotte is on deck.
All right. So there were several people. I imagine we got at least 4 more carts loaded with me helping. That's 2 people per cart.
Well, in 6 seconds or less, rounds in this are shorter than they are in D&D. That's 1 cart per second. Even the fastest cart loaders would not be able to do that.
I have an idea, but I can't do it till we're almost loaded.
At this
hear
point,
the commotion inside at this point, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the payload is loaded currently?
Oh, there's
there's
like 24 carts left to be loaded, but there are hundreds that are already on the ship.
All right, that's a loss we can take. I am right after I finish pushing 1 cart in, I'm going to turn around after making sure all of the workers are outside of the ship, and then I'm going to create a gust of wind coming in, and I'm going to scream, save yourself, and have the wind pick me up and throw me into the ship. That way all of the workers will scatter.
This is iconic.
Okay. Yes. So you're using your action to do the wind, which will push you 1 zone further than you'd normally be able to run. So you get 2 zones. You are now fully inside the ship. And the workers behind you in this moment are very confused, and some are very scared, and they're about ready to drop stuff and go.
All right, should I make a roll to see how convincing it was?
Sure.
That's a whole ass 9.
Yes, they seem confused. Some seem scared, but most are just confused.
All right. And once I used my action, well, I guess that would be my action and movement if it's just 1 zone further than my movement. So,
And that would be your turn.
I guess that'd be my turn. Yeah.
Yeah, combat in Sagas is pretty fast. So you don't do a lot on your turn, but you get a lot of them. Ezda, you're up.
So Ezra's going to keep trying to hack the system, especially now that Lexi is on the ship. Like, they're going to try and shut the doors. Like,
Yes.
early.
Go ahead and make another hack.
All right, come on, hacking skills. Oh, that's a D10. Let's not roll that.
You got this.
Hacking skills. Another 7. This dice hates me. Can I?
It is
Can I
time to
spend?
jail it. You
Can
can
I
spend your
spend-
effort to roll again, though.
Yeah, I'm spending all 3 of my efforts to roll again on a different die. And that was a 6, so what a waste of time.
Ooh. With a 6 or 7, this system is unfamiliar to you. You're taking this time to have to learn this under fire. You need to get this door closed so that the guards don't come in and make this worse. But it is the... Go ahead, Crimson. You are muted.
Oh, you're muted.
I forgot that I had luck. Can I re-roll that persuasion check?
Absolutely.
And that's a 1. Boom.
They fucking scream and scatter.
Yes. All right.
Where's my dice luck today?
All right. The the toy soldiers power up again.
I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't? That's right. You didn't. Sorry, I skipped you. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, the zone that Pierre just escaped from, that zone is still full of all of these creatures.
Yes,
assuming?
the zone, the cockpit, and the top of the ladder are the 2 zones that the creatures are in right now.
Okay. And if I were to shoot let's say an energy blast there, would it affect multiples or would it only affect one creature? Because they're all in the same zone.
The horde itself is considered one creature.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right. So I'm gonna. Can I use multiple talents, by the way, at the same time? Is that allowed?
As long as they don't both require actions, yeah.
Okay.
What are you
perfect.
thinking?
So I have a talent called Energize Projectile, and I also have projectile training, weapon training for projectile, right? So, and my Energize Projectile is at a rank 3, which means first I get extra damage, and then a rank 3 gives me 1 more damage. So that's 3 damage total, I'm assuming, if it hits.
I believe it is not an extra damage; it's an extra projectile that you can.
That's at
energize.
rank 6, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, rank 6 is an extra projectile, and rank 3. So the base stat is extra damage on projectile attacks, but it doesn't say how much. And then rank 3, it says 1 extra damage. So I'm assuming that's 2 extra damage if we get rank 3. If we
I'll
use
have
rank
to
3.
clarify that. That's why we're playtesting this thing. Yeah, you can get the extra damage, but energizing the projectiles would be its own action. You would have to actually shoot on the next turn.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to try to cause damage right now, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to take a couple of steps back because these things look like they're angry. And slowly just under his breath, he's just whispering, step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like toy soldiers. and in the minute he says toy soldiers, he's just going to shoot an energy blast right at the horde. And
die, soldiers. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
that's a 3.
Absolutely, that hits. They take another point of damage as you catch like 4 of them in the blast, and they just get pelted upwards towards the ceiling, just and they shatter into pieces and rain down on you from above. All right, now it's their turn. They did not like that one bit. They are first going to move So now the two zones that they are taking up are the two zones that the ladder's in, at the top and at the bottom. That means that they are covering. They are no longer surrounding Dr. Seven, but they are surrounding Charlotte. So first up, they are going to, and then after they move, they are going to do another sacrificial beam as they all charge their lasers into a single one of their companions, and he just explodes, and a laser goes shooting out of the ship and into the hangar itself, out the back door. But it catches Shalot, Esda, and Lexi in it. So I need all three of you to please make avoid checks.
I assume this isn't a melee avoid.
No, you are not in melee with these things.
I made the poor choice of picking dodge melee.
I rolled another 1.
That is a perfect success. You jump entirely out of the way and take no damage.
Yeah, I think I used the wind that I'm using to like make my body do like a cartwheel flip over the lasers and then just land back on my feet.
Like a high jumper, you curve your back and the laser just barely misses underneath you.
I got a 4.
A 4 is actually a failure. You take 1 point of damage and gain 1 effort.
Oh shit! Okay.
And Esda,
I got an 8.
you also take a point of damage and
Hell
gain
yeah.
1 effort. Back to the top with Pier / Jilly.
Here, smash. So I'm gonna keep doing what I do with my dual wielding. There's I'm still here. They're hurting my friends. I hate it. I'm gonna keep going.
Smash them
So-
to smithereens.
I will do my best. That's a 5.
A 5 is a hit. These things
Okay.
are not that difficult to hit because there's so many and they're actually not that fast. So you just cut another one clean in two with the laser sword and smash more with your fist. They take another point of damage.
Does it? I'm curious mechanically. Does it do more because I'm dual wielding, or is it? What is the mechanic that?
It
what does
depends
it
on how
do?
many. So for dual wielding, there are, at least in this version, it's I've already changed it for the next version. But
Okay.
right now, what it does is at the low ranks, you can use both weapons to get a lower die on the attack.
Oh, that's what
and
I
then
have.
at higher
I have
ranks,
the
you can
lower
do
die.
2 different attacks.
Sure.
Which
No, and that makes
potentially
sense,
more
'cause I
damage,
have-
but you use higher dice.
I have a D8, so that makes sense. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yep. And after that attack, are you gonna keep hovering there in the middle of the
If it
cargo bay?
looks like we're not close to having squished all of them, then I want to stick near my friend.
All right.
Because it seems like there's danger.
There's quite a bit of danger within this cargo ship.
I'm also very large, so I can absorb potentially more hits than some of my pals. So
Yeah,
Right.
same.
Dr. Z. Dr. 7. Sorry. Looks like a 7 on my what I wrote down. No, it looks like a Z. I meant to say. Never mind. You know what I meant. What are you doing on your turn?
So the toy soldiers are no longer surrounding me.
Yeah, they crawled off of you and are going down the ladder in favor of your friends. Now you are behind them.
Is there anybody else in the pilot area?
No, they left you alone in there.
Can I know I have this really cool bat that I just summoned, but can I see if I know how to pilot this thing?
You have your bat still in hand. You look at the machines. You look at the cockpit. You look on the machines, and you go towards the cockpit and try to figure out how to fly this thing. Go ahead and make a check to see if you can try to figure out which button's the on button.
That would be a D.
A D10 unless you have the pilot talent, which I don't think you took.
No.
You took all powers. Why wouldn't you?
A 3.
A 3? That is what I set it at. So you just start like pressing random buttons, pulling random levers, and one of them you hear a beep, and all of the lights just blink on, and you can hear engines in the back and feel the ship start to rumble. As you have activated the ship and the engines are on and beginning to warm up. That is definitely a success.
I hope it's closed and everybody's in here.
Door to the back is definitely still open. Speaking of, Lexi, you're the closest to that door. What are you doing?
Well, so all of the things are down here now? All of the
no, they're at the top of the ladder and the bottom of the ladder, but they are slowly moving into the cargo bay.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my movement the rest of the way, since I was about halfway into the ship. I am going to like run and like do a front flip over them, and then I am going to attempt to use my wind to pick up as many as I can and throw them towards the door that's open.
All right. Let me see. I don't remember exactly what control wind allows at this point.
Technically with rank 2, I can move up to a medium creature. It's rank 3 that it becomes close and can affect everything in a zone. So I'm thinking it's not going to be like the entire zone of creatures, but enough weight that would be like close to that of what like a medium person would be.
Normally I would say yes, but rules as written as they are, and I want to stick to rules as written as close as we can because I'm trying to play test this thing. And hordes are large creatures, or in this case, a colossal creature. So as your wind, you think about it and you realize that it's hard to target a group of them. Like just your wind would just blast through them doing nothing.
Fair. All right. In that case, after I run and jump over them, I'm just going to take a leg and kick them like a soccer ball towards the door.
Go ahead and make your attack.
2.
Oh, that absolutely hits. They take 1 more point of damage. And you kick and you manage to get 3 or 4 of them in one sweep, and they just you actually hear some scream. These like almost like a crackly radio scream as they fly and smash against the wall.
Wait, are these things sentient?
You're not sure. They don't seem to be, except for that scream. Shalot, you're up.
Okay, so you said I was surrounded. Are they in the same zone as me, or am I squished, or can I attack?
They are in the same zone as you, and that zone is over capacity, which means you cannot attack, but you can do anything else, like move. You can use your action to try to move again. You can use the combo action to give one of your allies extra damage and an extra die. There's a lot of options.
Okay. So I'm gonna firstly try to move, and the way I'm thinking is the energy ball on my hands, basically use that as a way to propel myself away from them. So does that make sense? Like jump backwards and kind of like push against them with my energy blast to jump out of their range.
Yes. Go ahead and we'll mechanically, we'll say this is an attempted move check. Go ahead and make that check.
Okay, that's another D10, right?
That would be a D10.
Yes. Okay. That is a 6.
A 6 is not enough. You try to jump up, and just as you're about to blast yourself out of this space, you one of them grabs your arm and pulls your arm away from the laser that you're charging, and it just dissipates into nothing. You still have your action, which you can use to try to move again. You can do anything with your action except attack.
Okay. I have a wrestler talent. Can I grab this horde?
You can grab a couple of them, yeah. I think wrestler is specifically for dealing damage, though, which would be an attack. Let me double check on that. When you are holding a person or a monster, you can attack them by squeezing vulnerable spots. So yeah, wrestler would be an attack still.
Okay.
You can try to move again.
Is it possible for me to like grab this horde and toss it away from me, or is it too big to be grabbed like that?
You can make an attempt to push the horde away from you instead of moving out of the zone yourself. It's going to be a difficult check, though, because there's a lot of things to push.
Okay, fair enough. I think I'm going to try to get out. Like, does it affect me being in the same zone as them? Like, do I get damaged if I'm because of it being overpopulated, or?
No, the only thing that happens because it's overcapacity is you can't attack.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to use my action to get out of it again. The same thing this time, except I'm going to use both hands, just for flavor, and basically hold one of them by the face, and try to use that as an extra boost to acrobat myself out of the way.
All right. You're doing another attempted move check.
Yep, and that is a 3.
And a 3 is enough. You manage to get out of the grasp of these freaking little tiny annoying ass robots. And that is the end of your turn.
How far away can I move? Oh, okay.
One zone.
Okay.
Ezda, you're up. Muted.
Is the door still open? We're still trying to close the door, right?
Yeah. All the doors are open. The door to the cockpit, the door outside the back of the ship. The engines are on, and you can see like rockets on the back just activated on both sides.
Fantastic. We're doing great. I'm going to try hacking again. I will not stop. I cannot be stopped. Here
Again.
we go.
One of these days.
Again. All right. Hey, it's a 4. I think we might have done something.
4 is a success. You finally managed to get into this system, and you slam the right button. You put in the right command, hit enter, and the hydraulics start going as the giant ramp begins to pull itself upwards and close, plunging the entire cargo bay into darkness, except for the door at the top, where there are still
my
lights.
eyes light up.
Ooh, robot eyes.
Can I turn the lights on, or would that be another action?
That would be another action.
Well,
I'm nice. I'm not that lenient.
We can have lights next turn, y'all.
We can have lice next turn, everybody.
Duck lice.
All right. And with the end of Ezda's turn, the toy soldiers are going to go again. And this time, they are going to make 2 attacks, both of them against the dragon that has been pulverizing them from above. So I'm going to need Jilly to make 2 avoid checks for me.
Wait, so these things can see in the dark then?
Apparently.
That's
Okay,
great. Isn't that fantastic?
we love that. 5, 3.
Actually, those are both successes. They
You
they
sounded
take
so
their little
sad
arms
about
and they try
that.
to and it's it tickles. It tickles.
I'm a dragon.
That's right. They're going to stay where they are on that ladder, hindering movement as much as they can. Although nobody is in zones with them. That means you're up next, Pierre.
Come at me, bros.
Go ahead and make your attack.
Yes, I do that thing with a D8. That's a 1.
That is a crit. You do an additional point of damage, which is double what you would normally do. And as you want to describe to me why this is a crit. What does
Okay.
this attack look like?
So I think what this is when they kind of tickle them with the not hitting, basically. Pierre kind of laughs in a dragony type of way, like a huff, and just kind of says, "What am I doing? I am of the Astra," and kind of like is bolstered by this and just does what I think is like a sweeping hand motion and just kind of like nails them into the wall with her fist. And
as you just backhand hammer fist 12 of them at once, just and they all shatter against the steel siding.
Yes, and it's like mildly alarming and or impressive / arousing, depending on your point of view.
I love that.
All right, Dr. Seven, you're up. Trying to fly this puppy. The door in the back is now closed.
Okay, so what do I know what I need to do next to fly it?
Nope, you're going to need to make a check.
Okay. Is it D10?
D10.
Or
With a 4, you grab a hold of the controls in front of you, put your feet, you look down, there's 4 different pedals. You're like, please let this be the right one. You step down and the ship lifts slightly. And you lean forward and the ship begins moving out of the hangar. It is still itself in the hangar. You haven't gotten out of the bay yet, but you actually know how to freaking fly this thing. Because you got a 4 and a success on that check, the difficulty to pilot this thing from here on out is going to be much easier.
so that was one of the things they put in my brain with all of the chips, probably.
Apparently. Next up is Lexi. Crimson, I think you muted.
I was indeed. So about how many of these little bots are left? Wait, it's still dark. I can't even see.
It is very dark in here.
I'm gonna do like a leg sweep just to see if I catch any that are on the floor. Should I like do that with disadvantage or something?
Go ahead and make a check. Right now, I am realizing that I actually don't have any built-in rules to not being able to see your target.
All right. That's 7.
A 7 is not enough. As the darkness just envelops you completely, you do a quick spinning leg sweep and you just catch nothing but air.
Well, maybe they're all gone.
Do you want to move further in and like try to actually moving further in would put yourself in their zone. It's probably better if you stay put.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Charlotte, you're up. You are
Okay.
no longer in their zone. You can't really see them, but you know about where they are.
All right, I'm going to take one step back, and so now is the time where Charlotte's. If you're standing next to him, nearby him, you can hear the crackling. You can feel the crackling of electricity. The hair on the back of his neck starts to stand up. His already spiky hair gets even more spikier, and he's just going to, as almost as if the ancestors themselves are telling him what to do, right? He's going to move his right hand to his side. He's going to move his left hand above his right hand, and basically what I'm doing is I'm charging a projectile to be used in the next turn, and slowly you can hear him start to say, "Ka me."
Is this what they call Super Saiyan?
No, not really. It's this is a projectile attack that
No.
he's using. As you could use it as a Super Saiyan or as a regular Saiyan. How he would know this, I don't know, but it's like the ancestors are speaking through him. The great Super Saiyan himself has descended into his being, and he's learning how to cast this on the fly. So it's only the first
No,
half of it.
Super Saiyan is a mode that is like rank 10.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So your projectiles are energized as you begin to charge them up. Next is Ezda. You've successfully closed the door. You're still typing away furiously at your computer panel. Muted.
I'm debating whether I need to check on the communication system to see if we're about to imminently be attacked, or if I should turn the lights on.
You gotta pick one.
I'm gonna check and see if we're gonna be attacked. Like, I'm gonna tap into the communication system and see if I can figure out what's going on elsewhere.
You easily do so. You use your action to tap into communications, and you hear out of the speaker of the console that you're at voices shouting, what you say is going on? The ship's out of control. What do you mean the ship's out of control? There's nothing in it. There are people in it. They're trying to escape. They're trying to escape. This place is amazing. Why would they want to leave? That's not the issue right now. It seems that the people outside are not very well organized, and if you get out of here fast, you're going to be able to get out of their range before they can scramble any sort of defense.
I would sort of yell to all my comrades, we're not in immediate danger, but we will be in danger soon, so if we could take off, please, that would be delightful.
And as you yell this, suddenly the lights do come back on. Kind of. As the mouths of the toy soldiers begin to glow once
like
more,
that.
targeting one of the few of them that is left, and is going to shoot another beam across the bottom, slamming into the back door, which thankfully holds. I'm going to need everybody that is along the ground of the cargo bay to make avoid checks. That would be Ezda, Shalot, and Lexi.
That's a 10.
A 10.
6.
A 6.
I got a 4.
All of you take one more point of damage and gain 1 effort back as this bright blue laser just cascades through you, this as searing heat and pain racks your body momentarily. Back to the top of initiative.
Should have picked
as
some
this
kind of I should have picked some kind of ability to make me immune to like lasers.
Laser immunity. Quick, write it in. And next up at the top of initiative or reaction, turn order. Haven't thought of a name of it yet. Pier.
I want to do what I do.
And you do it well. We'll see how
The
well you
mighty
do it this
dragon
time.
fist of nope.
The mighty dragon fist of nope. We need t-shirts.
6.
A 6 is a hit. It loses 1 more health, and there are not very many left, but they seem like they're going to fight tooth and nail to the end.
Well, I have teeth and claws too, so there.
Dr. Seven.
Question. I can't remember. Do I need to use effort if I want to make sure I pass the roll to use effort?
You can use all 3 of your effort points to add 1 die to your own roll.
Okay. Because I want to fly out of the thing.
The hangar,
The
pilot
hangar.
the ship out into space. All
Yeah.
right. Moment of truth.
Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and use what I have because why not?
Mm-hmm.
So that 2 dice that I rolled in, 2 d10s?
Yep.
Okay.
And you'll take the lower one.
I got a 4 and a 2.
Ha! With a 2. Yes, they absolutely did code this ship into your system. You know exactly what you're doing. You flicked, click, 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 and the jets rotate, and you just floor it.
Can I do?
Go ahead.
I was just going to do one more thing. Can I turn on the intercom system?
Yes.
And I'm going to say, this is Dr. Seven. Please, move all toys from the floor of the ship. Do not leave your toys laying around. And I would like the crew to meet me at the pilot bay after your toys are all cleaned up. Thank you, and have a great flight.
And then you flick a switch, and instead of the intercom turning off, you get even cheekier, and the you hear over the speakers of the whole ship, bomb, 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 ba-da-da! All right. Ship is fully out. You can see through the windows the station disappearing into the background, but there are still enemies inside to be eradicated. Lexi, it's time to pick up your toys. That's you, Cribson.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, now that I have an idea of where they are, I suppose I'll just try to hit them again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And with the crit, I would like to hit as many as possible.
Wham, 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 wham. You you clear all of them except one through a flurry of strikes, shattering all of them. Leaving a single toy left, staring up into the glowing eyes of our Saiyan friend, Shalot, with your energized projectiles and a single toy left. Do I have to ask what you do?
Oh, not really, but I almost feel bad about this. Ha!
Kamehame. I almost feel bad about this. Ha!
Just vaporizes the little nutcracker.
You still have to actually hit it. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh my god, imagine this fails. It's a 1. It's a 1. Let's go.
Yes!
There is
Vaporize it.
nothing left. Absolutely pulverized. You'd think there, for most of them, there's like parts or dust left behind. This one is just gone. There's a scorch mark on the steel plating below.
Narratively, since
Hester
both
goes-
of us hit crits, can it be a a Street Fighter double combo attack where that blast fires off
Fatality.
into the crowd of them, and then like I literally like kick the rest of them into the beam?
yeah.
Yes, as it continues to into that one last one's the last toy soldier's no longer existing body, you kick the still twitching scraps of the last couple into this beam, pulverizing all the enemies left on this ship.
Esda looks up from the computer, having basically ignored the whole battle, and goes, "Does anyone smell ozone?"
Yeah, I imagine that they actually have to use a lot of hair product to keep it like that. So that would make sense.
Oh, this is all natural. I don't touch my hair at all.
Oh, wow.
Have
That's
you all
incredible.
finished cleaning up the toys yet?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Right, and make your way up to the pilot's whatever, please.
That sounded like someone trying to command me. I'm gonna roll on my anarchist struggle to see if I listen to them or not.
Go ahead.
All right, that's a 2. That's a 2. I can listen to them. I go up.
You can listen. It would be lonely in here in the dark cargo bay all alone anyway.
True.
You all reconvene in the cockpit as Dr. Seven expertly pilots this ship, spins it around so you can get one last look at the station before going full throttle and jumping to light speed. And the ship disappears, leaving the station behind forever and taking everything the company's worth with it. And that is where we will end tonight's Heist at Station G one shot.
Let's
You
go.
did it! The company will never survive this.
They won't
They
even
lost
be able to
that-
afford to send anybody after us.
They lost Dr. Seven. They put a lot of money into that project.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and the
They
machine
did
was
indeed.
destroyed. So unless they can hire scientists to come back out and rebuild it,
Which you know they can't because you literally just took basically all their money.
Yeah.
And their data. All of their data
Yay.
too.
Oh yeah, all the
death
computer
to
hard
all
drives.
corporations.
That's right. You took all their data.
Oh yeah, good point.
They're as stuck as you used to be.
As they should be.
Mhm.
Let's go around and do some outros real quick before we wrap it up for tonight, starting with Jilly. Thank you for joining. Where can people find you on the internet?
Hello, my name is Jilly. My pronouns are she, her, and I have been your space dragon this evening. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly, most places on the internet, including Linktree, which links to everywhere else. You will find me this Saturday right here on Nerds with Dice playing Masks, which is a really fun superhero game. At Knox's table, which is awesome. And you can also find links to a lot of other stuff that I've done at the aforementioned link. I will also be running and playing in some charity games this weekend on Saturday, which on D8 Dungeon, we're raising money for Trans Lifeline. So I will be running a game of Dialect in the morning. And then I will be playing OK Cryptid in the afternoon. And in case you're wondering, Jilly, doesn't that mean you have 3 streams in one day? Yes, it does. And it's also possible that I did not look to see if those were the same day before I booked them. But we're going to do a marathon, not a sprint. So,
Drink water.
exactly. Oh, I will
Been
be
there.
drinking more than water. There will be copious amounts of caffeine. But join me on Saturday for all of that.
I really hope you enjoy. I've done something like it. Charity streams are always a grand time to run. So thank you for the work that you're doing, and I really hope you have fun doing it.
Yeah, it looks really fun. And I know there are a bunch of people, I'm not sure if anybody in this stream is playing it, but I know there are a bunch of people from Nerds with Dice and the sphere of TTRPG who are playing games that day too, because there's a whole weekend of events. So tune in.
Thank you. Tori, where can people find you now that this game has ended?
Hello, I'm That Nerd Tori. You can find me all over the internet, everywhere as That Nerd Tori, including on the X website, Bird Hell. And I can be found every other Saturday on Neon Lights Role Playing, playing Chimeriad, our Fate Core game with Janie, actually. I almost forgot that Janie was on that game with me because it's been a minute since we played. But every other Saturday, we are on there. I'm also going to be on some other streams coming up that haven't been announced yet. So follow me on socials to keep track of where I am next.
Thank you for joining us. And speaking of, Janie, where can people find you?
I'm online in places at JaniePot7575. I have the Chimeriad game. I think on Singularity Roleplay this weekend. I have. Oh my gosh, I forgot which game I have. I've got a game on Saturday on Singularity Roleplay this weekend at like 5 Eastern, and then after that, I have a game on Polished Cryptid at right after that one. And Sunday, I've got nothing. I think next week is pretty empty.
Seems
Unless I
like a
find
rare
something.
occurrence.
No, not lately, but I'll find more stuff to get into. I always find.
Thank you for joining us. Dr. Seven was an absolute pleasure to have around. Steve, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me under SassyPants1996 on Twitch and YouTube, also on BioLink. Steve H4815 is my Twitter handle. That's, or like X handle, whatever, is what I use for most of my social media communication stuff. I am part of a Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign running with It's Me Briar every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, and every Saturday at like 5:30 p.m. India time, which is
5:30 a.m. Central.
5 a.m. Central. Yes, so that's around 8 a.m. Eastern. No, 5 a.m. Pacific, which is 8 a.m. Eastern. I will be playing. We're doing a modified Mothership campaign, which is like a Space Pirates thing, which is really cool. Minus the, well, there has been some zombie horror, which is really cool, but it's my first time doing a non D&D stream on my channel, which is a really big thing. So I'm really proud of that. And yeah, that's me. This was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to bring back Charlotte for a Saga game in the future.
Yes, he was great to have around, and you were great to play with. Thank you for joining us. And lastly, but certainly not least, Crimson, where can people find you?
Hey, y'all. Again, this has been just like an amazing time. Thanks for playing, everyone. Thanks for watching, everyone. And thanks for running the game, okayest DM. You can find me on, well, okay. You can X my X's over on X at sin_gal. And you can find me on Instagram at crimson_galaxy_RPG. And again, this coming week on Monday, we are going to be picking back up our campaign play of Monster of the Week over on Casper DANB Ghost. And that is going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And honestly, that's a really fun game. Like, the energy of that table is amazing. So you should definitely come check it out and support my cast members. I don't care if you support me or not.
Well, we certainly support you in all your endeavors. You were great fun to have around at the table. I will go last. I will reintroduce myself. Hi, I have been your game master this evening, Dennis, or OKSDM. You can find my YouTube channel, OKSDM, and from there, my link tree. I do way too much stuff, probably. But a lot of people here, sounds like you know exactly what that's like, so I'm in good company. This week, I do have a lot more Sagas games just because we're going through playtesting this system. It is not yet that close. There's going to be a Kickstarter eventually, a final version and everything with full art and everything. Very excited for this game to continue development. tomorrow, I will be at the same time, actually, as this stream. I will be on YouTube over at This Crits, starting a mini series of sagas where we are going to be rotating through game masters and rotating through settings. At the end of every session, the entire party is going to be sucked into another dimension, and at the beginning of the next one, we'll restart with a new game master. I'm very excited for how that one's going to go. We are starting off with a fantasy western. This weekend, I have the second episode of Grimm, which is another Sagas game that is dark miniature steampunk. Everybody is the player characters are mice. We've got a chinchilla and we've got an ant. What a old mouse inventor has died in under suspicious circumstances, and the will was not what anyone was expecting. And we're going through the investigation of what old man Wrinkle had built and why his will was changed. We a little bit of spoilers for that one, but something horrible happens at the end of our first session, and we're about to start with the aftermath of that for the second one. I'm very excited. It is adorable and also very dark. Then that is on Saturday. On Sunday evening, I will also be doing another Sagas game. Can you tell I'm trying to playtest and promote this thing a little bit? This one is going to be a cyberpunk psychological thriller. We are truly rotating through as many settings as we can, and this one was no different. I think this heist went off not quite without a hitch, but that's exactly how we like it. That's how we tell good stories. So thank you everyone for joining me, both you players and you viewers in the audience. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you have an excellent evening, and it is time to do, I'm just remembering at the last little second, there is outro. Join Nerds with Dice this Saturday at 8 p.m. EST for Masks, the puzzle, as Jilly already mentioned. Next Tuesday, July 31st at 8 p.m. EST, begins Neon Shadows, an Arcana Punk campaign. That's going to be amazing. August 4th, 10 p.m. EST, join Nerds with Dice for a one-shot of Yilfi, an urban fantasy horror adventure. That one, I didn't think you could get better than Arcana Punk, but it looks like you're going to get better, even better, only a couple days after. Beginning August 1st and ending August 31st, Nerds with Dice is hosting a game jam. Short games up to 3 solo games, and solo games are welcome. Find Nightmare Before Halloween Jam on itch.io for more information. And I think a voice from beyond is about to let me know who we are going to raid as we finally wind down. And I just like to say this has been fantastic. One last time, thank you everybody for watching and for playing. Magi RPG. I know them. I'm in talks with them. I think I'm going to get them to play Sagas 2 pretty soon. So keep your eyes out for that. And everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for joining.